Yes, this is WNHU West Haven, and I am the Star-Spangled DJ, Malcolm Tent, bringing you a special red, white, and blue edition of Mr. Tent's Wild Ride. That's right, it's the eve of the 4th of July, which of course means it's July 3rd, you know what I mean? And so I've got about 2 hours of songs about America, Americans, American things, fireworks, the US of A, and other related topics. And it's going to be a fine, fun, festive show tonight because there are a lot of songs about those aforementioned topics. And that's about all I'm going to say right now because I'm in the mood to get into the patriotic swing of things right now. And we're going to bring our special 4th of July show into action right now with a special blessing and invocation by Aleister Crowley, recorded on a wax cylinder in 1919. Yes, Aleister Crowley and his hymn for the people of America on the anniversary of their independence. That's going to kick off the wild ride here on 88.7 WNHU. Take it away, Aleister Crowley.
Hymn to the American people on the anniversary of their independence. Brothers and sisters, on this day, deathless glory, let us come united in our glad array to hymn our father's martyrdom. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust, so let it be. In God we trust. They died, and we are free. Take up their cross, deserve their crown. The stainless flag of liberty by man shall not be trodden down. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust, so let it be. In God we trust. In war and earthquake, wreck and wrong, still let the flag of freedom fly. In peace and safety, still be strong, for we will live as we would die. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust, so let it be. In God we trust. Though in wash the world in blood, though death devour, though time decay, let but our hearts hold brotherhood, and this they shall not take away. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust, so let it be. In God we trust. Stand and join hands and let us sing. Shake out all glory to the skies. With heart and hand defiant fling our purpose against destiny. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust, so let it be. In God we trust.
And this marks the beginning of the American Heavy Metal Weekend. The Japanese buying up our guitars, invade our beaches, driving cars. Hondas, Toyotas, and Subarus. Fight 'em, beat 'em, got a lot to lose. Fenders, Gibsons, stack 'em high, stack 'em up against the sky. Speakers, blasting the fans, make 'em wait, they didn't land. It's an American heavy metal weekend. An American heavy metal weekend. The English, sure, will give them a break with their high-watts and their Marshalls. Made here, make no mistake, always real, never fake. Platform boots, puffy hair, gotta raise the scare. Metal merchants, bet on their wares, not US made, buyer beware. It's an American heavy metal weekend. It's an American heavy metal weekend. Rat! Talking! Blue and Nicole, Y&T, Motley Crue, Dudes. What I want, what I need, ain't here in the USA. Always hard, always loud, never soft, always proud. But right across the globe, send those rats back in their holes. It's an American heavy metal weekend. An American heavy metal weekend. American heavy metal weekend. An American heavy metal weekend. Yow! Van Halen, Quiet Riot, Twisted Sister, Dio, don't forget the Stooge. You better listen to me.
I can't survive the rat race, honey. Time is money, and money is honey, honey. My neighbor butts, your symmetrical beauty. Together we can serve that nation, yeah. The quality of life film is all we write. America. As I watched, I just cried and cried. I love America. I will buy you rich perfumes, and we will eat the finest foods. A mansion in New England, a silver dollar for every child. But everybody has got their price. They'll sustain our way of life. You and I will fly to Rio and make you feel like a millionaire. I can survive the rat race, honey. Time is money, and money is honey, honey. My neighbor butts, your symmetrical beauty. Together we can serve the nation, yeah. The quality of life film is all we write. America. And as I watched, I just cried and cried. I love America. right. And with our allies, fight the good fight. A first class, 5-star enterprise. Now everybody's got to compromise. My moral code on overload. Liberty still counts its toll. Take a look at the losers wasted in the bars where they curse their losses. I can't survive the rat race early. Time is money and money is honey, honey. My megabucks, your symmetrical beauty. Together we can solve that nation, yeah. The quality of life filled us all with pride. America. As I watched, I just cried and cried. America. There were fireworks in the Gulf, there was champagne at home. But showbiz and Hollywood still shut it out.
This is 88.7 WNHU, Mr. Tent's Wild Ride here. Malcolm Tent, the DJ. And it is our special 4th of July tribute show. Yay! You just heard Killing Joke doing America. Before that, the Circle Jerks doing American Heavy Metal Weekend. Before that, the Residents, Stars and Stripes Forever. And we opened up with the old Beast 666 himself, Aleister Crowley, blessing the entire program with his hymn to the American people on the anniversary of their independence. And just in case you don't catch the drift, the anniversary of the American people's independence is the 4th of July, which is, of course, tomorrow. Hence, this next song by X called 4th of July, right here on Mr. Tent's Wild Ride, courtesy of 88.7 WNHU.
Waiting for me when I get home from work. Oh, but things just ain't the same. She turns out the lights and cries in the dark, and she won't answer when I call her name. On the stairs I smoke a cigarette alone. Fireworks below, and hey, babe, it's the 4th of July. Hey, babe, it's the 4th of July. It's the 4th of July. She gives me a cheek when I want her lips. Oh, but I don't have the strength to go on the lost side of town in a dark apartment. We gave up trying so long ago. On the stairs I smoked a cigarette alone.
in the USA. Rocking in the USA. Where else I'd rather say? Rocking and rolling, rocking and rolling, rocking in the USA. Rocking in the USA. Where else I'd rather say? Rocking and rolling, rocking and rolling, rocking in the USA. Rocking in the USA.
other day I heard someone say, you know, America is in real trouble. It's true. Old Glory has never fallen so close to the earth. Our embassies are being stoned. Our diplomats are often in fear for their lives, and we're involved in a half-dozen nameless, winless conflicts, spilling American blood on foreign soil. Our young men are dying for ideals which don't seem to mean too much to Americans anymore. The truth is, America's real trouble doesn't lie in the rice paddies of Vietnam, in the masses of Red China, or in the diabolical intrigues to the south of us. The real trouble lies in the playgrounds of St. Louis, the hillside mansions of San Francisco, and in the slums of Chicago. The disease which is slowly eating away at the heart of America lives in the small southern towns, the fishing villages of New England, and in the hot, dusty streets of the Midwest. This is the age of the American cynic, the year of the unbeliever, the day of doubt. We've killed all the sacred cows and destroyed all the images, and there's nothing left to respect. Old-fashioned love of God, country and family is passé. We stare at our shoelaces when they play the national anthem. We wouldn't want to be seen at a political rally or a town hall meeting, and we don't want to be caught with our eyes closed during public prayers. We've decided the only way to get into public office is to buy it. Our heroes are the fast guys who get away with things. Patriotism, the old hand over the heart, flag-waving, singing patriotism, has been condemned. Think about this. Patriotism, when you tear away the fancy phrases in crepe paper, is plain and simple pride. It's a new car, prettier girl, bigger house sort of pride in country. Somewhere along the way we've lost that pride. Our form of government is the same. We still say America stands for the same things. But next time you're at a party, ask someone to sing America with you and see what happens. The basic ideals and structure of America hasn't changed. We have you and me. Our enemies know it. They've seen the newsreels of the discontented marching around the Capitol. They've distorted and blown up our mistakes. They've been putting steel wedges in the cracks in our wall of solidarity. The new idea is, don't attack America, wear it down gradually. It'll eventually fall under the weight of its own corruption. And did you know it's working? This sneering complacency, once stamped out by the bloody feet of a tattered Continental Army in 1776, once drowned beneath the keel of the USS Arizona in Pearl Harbor Bay, has risen again. This deadly let George do it attitude lights the way for the Viet Cong in the swampy jungles of Vietnam. This better red than dead cancer is more feared by the American soldier than all the communist mortar shells. It kills the vitality and spirit of America. Democracy is a frail and fragile instrument made of hope, prayer, and Yankee ingenuity. It is held together by 4th of July flag-waving patriotism, and we've almost exhausted our supply of it. Try this test. Lift your eyes to a flag, then sing out, as loud as you can, that old outworn, antiquated freedom hymn you learned so many years ago. For Purple Mountain's majesty. Above the fruited plain. America. America. God shed his grace on thee. Now if you feel a little pride welling up inside of you, if you feel a little mist in your eye, then thank God for you, mister. you're still an American.
This is 88.7 WNHU. My name is Malcolm Tent, and I like to call this show Mr. Tent's Wild Ride. It's the 4th of July Eve, and so I'm playing a whole bunch of great songs about America and Americans and the US of A and patriotism and related topics. You just heard the fantastic Johnny C. That's Johnny S.E.A., not to be confused with the other fantastic Johnny C. who did the fabulous Hitch It to the Horse. No, this is Johnny C., a white guy country singer, I guess, country talker. He doesn't do much singing, but he does talk an awful lot. That song was Day of Decision. And remember, next time you're at a party, ask somebody to sing America along with you and see how patriotic they really are. Huh. Before that, MC5 doing a raucous version of the old Chuck Berry nugget Back in the USA. Before that, Elvis Costello Crawling to the USA. Before that, Kiss Rockin' in the USA. And we, of course, opened up with X doing 4th of July. And just having heard the fantastic Johnny C. doing his Day of Decision, I think it's only appropriate to cue up David Bowie. I'm Afraid of Americans. Right here on 88.7 WNHU.
Jones in America, low tax at the wheel. Anyone that don't even just pretend. China's an American. I'm afraid of America. I'm afraid of the world. I'm afraid I can't help it. I'm afraid I can't. I'm afraid of Americans. I'm afraid of the world. I'm afraid I can't help it. I'm afraid I can't. I'm afraid of Americans.
up at the stars. Johnny combs his hair. Johnny wants pussy and cars. Johnny's in America. Johnny's in America. I'm afraid of Americans. I'm afraid of the world. I'm afraid I can't help it. I'm afraid I can't. I'm afraid of Americans. I'm afraid of the world. I'm afraid I can't help it. I'm afraid I can't. Yeah, I'm afraid of Americans. I'm afraid of the words. I'm afraid I can't help it. I'm afraid I can't. I'm afraid of Americans. God is in America. God is in America. And God is in America. But wait, there's more. God is in America. God is in America. God is in America. My God is in America. I'm afraid of Americans. I'm afraid of the world. I'm afraid I can't help it. I'm afraid I can't. I'm afraid of Americans. I'm afraid of the world. I'm afraid I can't help it. I'm afraid I can't. Yeah, I'm afraid of Americans. I'm afraid of the words. I'm afraid I can't help it. I'm afraid I can't. I'm afraid of Americans.
I love that mountain with those four big heads. I love Velveeta slapped on Wonder Bread. I love a commie if he's good and dead. Yeah. I love Old Glory and homemade pie. I think them Ruskies should be sterilized. I love my chicken Kentucky fried. Finger leg and good.
Hey there, this is A.D. Cooper from Cooper's Carnival of Clean and Classic Cars. It's our 4th of July sale here at Cooper's Carnival of Clean and Classic Cars at the corner of Collins and Collins. I got a lot full of the finest one little cars money can buy at the prices even you can afford. So come on down and say hello to me and Granny and bring the kids to meet my snake. I say bye, Granny says bye, and the snake says
I love General Patton in World War II. My pocket fisherman and my crazy glue. I love the Peeve and Wally too. Yeah! I love the bomb, hot dogs, and mustard. I love my girl, but I sure don't trust her. I love what the Indians did to Custer. Here they come.
What kind of an American are you? It's time to show what you intend to do. If they trample on Old Glory, will you think that they are right? Or will you stand behind your land and fight with all your might? What kind of an American are you? That dissension you'll have to answer to. If the Star-Spangled Banner don't make you stand and cheer, then what are you doing over here? This land of the free is for you and for me, and for anyone at all who is seeking liberty. We welcomed every stranger and we lent a helping hand, and now that we're in danger, it is time to understand. Your Uncle Sam is calling you to lend a helping hand. If you're true blue, it's up to you to show just where you stand. What kind of an American are you? It's time to show what you intend to do. If they trample on Old Glory, will you think that they are right? Or will you stand behind your land and fight with all your might? What kind of an American are you? That dissension you'll have to answer to. If the Star-Spangled Banner don't make you stand and cheer, then what are you doing over here?
There's nothing wrong with the ugly. America, the ugly. America, the ugly. The ugly. America. I want it my way, want it right away. I'm a racist, I'm a wrestler. Ain't no communist, ain't no leftist. I'm looking straight down the middle of the road. Ready to drop the load. Pizza, I like the money, the looking honey, so I can leave it to the f*** out of the way, come on, the ugly, America, the ugly, America, ugly, the ugly, American. Whoa.
God bless America, my home, sweet home.
This is 88.7 WNHU. Malcolm Tent here, bringing you Mr. Tent's Wild Ride. You can almost smell the red, white, and blue in the air. You can almost feel it permeating the airwaves on 88.7 FM. You can also see it oozing out of your computer if you're dialed into WNHU.org. Right here on this, my annual 4th of July tribute show. Yes, bringing you the best in songs about America, Americans, the US of A, America, and things American. You just heard, in order, the last 4 songs. David Bowie, I'm Afraid of Americans. Alice Cooper, I Love America. Tiny Tim, What Kind of American Are You? And Antiseen, of course, answers that question with The Ugly American. It's all right here, baby, on Mr. Tent's Wild Ride. I mentioned WNHU.org a little bit earlier. I invite everybody to check out WNHU.org. It's your one-stop information shop for things about WNHU. It's stellar DJs, personalities, behind the scenes people, history, all that kind of good stuff. I even have a page on there, so if you want to take a look at what my mug looks like, go to WNHU.org and navigate around, and you'll find me in there along with some other really, really cool stuff relating to WNHU. All right, we're only just getting into it here. I got a lot more patriotic hymns for all you people out there. We're going to carry on with the almighty Grand Funk Railroad with their bicentennial ditty. This was very big in July 4th, 1976. The song 1976 right here on 88.7 WNHU. WNHU. The special 4th of July show. Continue with Now.
mother died.
Ladies and gentlemen, one important thing about Elvis was he was the perfect example of the American dream. A poor sharecropper's son goes on to be the idol of millions of people throughout the world. And even now, nearly 6 years after his untimely death, Elvis is still regarded as the king of rock and roll for the entire world. Ladies and gentlemen, that can only happen right here in America.
This is WNHU West Haven. I say that we don't bring King L back, but we do bring me on for another hour. I, of course, being Malcolm Tent, and another hour of what? Of Mr. Tent's Wild Ride. Super ultra patriotic 4th of July edition here, although it is but July 3rd. You guys get me every Monday from 7 to 9 p.m. And since today is Monday, July 3rd, you get the July 4th show a little bit in advance. Not bad, really. You just heard, yes, King L, a homegrown Connecticut Elvis impersonator from his album Live at the Oakdale from 1983. That was his stunning version of An American Trilogy. Before that, Susie and the Banshees, Fireworks. I hope to be blowing up large chunks of my lawn tomorrow with said fireworks. I am a Florida boy. I enjoy the pyrotechnics, I must admit. And we open up with Grand Funk Railroad doing 1976, an overall homage to Lady America and her birthday, which is right where we are right here, right now. Let's see, what can we do for another 60 minutes here? I guess more songs about America and things American. We might as well start off with Robin Hitchcock, a fine British citizen singing about America. And that's why we love it here on Mr. Tent's Wild Ride on 88.7, because it's wild.
Children we were
United States dollar took another pounding on German, French, and British exchanges this morning, hitting the lowest point ever known in West Germany. It has declined there by 41% since 1971, and this Canadian thinks it's time to speak up for the Americans as the most generous and possibly the least appreciated people in all the world. As long as 60 years ago, when I first started to read newspapers, I read of floods on the Yellow River and the Yangtze. Well, who rushed in with men and money to help? The Americans did, that's who. They have helped control floods on the Nile, the Amazon, the Ganges, and the Niger. Today, the rich bottom land of the Mississippi is underwater, and no foreign land has sent a dollar to help. Germany, Japan, and to a lesser extent Britain and Italy were lifted out of the debris of war by the Americans, who poured in billions of dollars and forgave other billions in debts. None of those countries is today paying even the interest on its remaining debts to the United States. When the franc was in danger of collapsing in 1956, it was the Americans who propped it up, and their reward was to be insulted and swindled on the streets of Paris. And I was there, I saw that. When distant cities are hit by earthquake, it's the United States that hurries in to help. Managua, Nicaragua is one of the most recent examples. So far this spring, 59 American communities have been flattened by tornadoes. Nobody has helped. The Marshall Plan, the Truman Policy, pump billions upon billions of dollars into discouraged countries. And now newspapers in those countries are writing about the decadent, warmongering Americans. Now, I'd like to see just one of those countries that is gloating over the erosion of the United States dollar build its own airplanes. Come on now, you, let's hear it. Does any country in the world have a plane to equal the Boeing Jumbo Jet, the Lockheed TriStar, or the Douglas 10? If so, why don't they fly them? Why do all international lines except Russia fly American planes? Why does no other land on Earth even consider putting a man or a woman on the moon? You talk about Japanese technocracy and you get radios. You talk about German technocracy and you get automobiles. You talk about American technocracy and you find men on the moon, not once but several times, and safely home again. You talk about scandals and the Americans put theirs right in the store window for everybody to look at. Even the draft dodgers are not pursued and hounded. They're right here on our streets in Toronto. Most of them, unless they're breaking Canadian laws, are getting American dollars from Ma and Pa at home to spend up here. When the Americans get out of this bind, as they will, who could blame them if they said to hell with the rest of the world? Let somebody else buy the bonds. Let somebody else build or repair foreign dams or design foreign buildings that won't shake apart in earthquakes. When the railways of France and Germany and India were breaking down through age, it was the Americans who rebuilt them. When the Pennsylvania Railroad and the New York Central went broke, nobody loaned them an old caboose. Both of them are still broke. I can name to you 5,000 times when the Americans raced to the help of other people in trouble. Can you name to me even one time when someone else raced to the Americans in trouble? I don't think there was outside help even during the San Francisco earthquake. Our neighbors have faced it alone, and I'm one Canadian who is damn tired of hearing them kicked around. They'll come out of this thing with their flag high, and when they do, they're entitled to thumb their noses at the lands that are gloating over their present trouble. I hope Canada is not one of these. But there are many, 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 but there are many. The American Red Cross was told, the American continuum was broke, that it was broke, that it was broke. But the year
One, two, three, four. There was a time that I might have been better. Wagon tracks and leather tack, yeah, it might have been better. And if I could have been there, yeah, if I could have been there, seen it on my own, if I could have been there. Well, I wish that I could see, yeah, America on horseback. Yeah, I wish that I could see America on horseback. Lincoln on a train, giving a speech on a record hill. Jackson falling in the woods down in Chancellorsville. Oh, if I could have been there, if I could have been there, seen it on my own, if I could have been there. Well, I wish that I could have seen America on horseback. If I could have seen America on horseback. Look out for the good and the evil. To look out for the things what the past. To look out for the one and the only. For the folks that love in the last. There was a long, lonely whistle blow. There was a crowd with their heads bent real low. There were giants in those days. Yeah, there were giants in those days. And if I could have seen it on my own, I would be there today. Well, I wish that I could have seen America on horseback. If I could have seen America on horseback. Don't end it. Don't end it.
wagon, it's the empty wagon, it's the noisiest, the consular horse. Jefferson, I think we're lost. The biggest wagon, it's the empty wagon, it's the noisiest, the consular horse. Jefferson, I think we're lost, lost.
This is 88.7 WNHU, and I am Malcolm Tent, bringing you a special red, white, and blue edition of Mr. Tent's Wild Ride. That's right, kids, it's 4th of July tomorrow, so I'm bringing you the best in American music about America and things American today on July 3rd. We heard in order in that last set, Robin Hitchcock, a song called America. After that, Gordon Sinclair, The Americans, in parentheses, A Canadian's Opinion. And boy, is that guy PO'd. What a dire situation he describes. After that, Charlie Pickett, America on Horseback, and then REM, another great song about traveling around in America through its highways and byways and sometimes getting lost, which is not necessarily a bad thing either. Their song, Little America. Next up, we got The Doors. This next song might be a contraction of Little America. It's L' America. I don't know what it means. I don't know if the song's got anything to do with America at all, but hey, the song title sort of grandfathers it into our set here of American songs about America. So that's it, kids. The Doors coming right up here on Mr. Tent's Wild Ride on 88.7 WNHU.
teach you how to find yourself. La America.
sand. Walk through the valleys and the rivers and the plains. Walk through the sun and walk through the rain. Here is a land full of power and glory, beauty that words cannot recall. Oh, her power shall rest on the strength of her freedom, and her glory shall rest on us all. From Colorado, Kansas, and the Carolinas too, Virginia and Alaska, from the old and to the new, Texas and Ohio and the California shore. Tell me who could ask for more? For here is a land full of power and glory, beauty that words cannot recall. Oh, her power shall rest on the strength of her freedom, and her glory shall rest on us all. Yet she's only as rich as the poorest of the poor, only as free as a padlocked prison door, only as strong as our love for this land, only as tall as we stand. For here is a land full of power and glory, beauty that words cannot recall. Oh, her power shall rest on the strength of her freedom, and her glory shall rest on us all. Walk through the valleys and the rivers and the plains. Walk through the sun and walk through the rain. Here is a land full of power and glory, beauty that words cannot recall. Oh, her power shall rest on the strength of her freedom. Her glory shall rest on us all. On us
country's gala bicentennial spree. Let's celebrate America's 200th birthday with spirit, laughter, and glee. Let's build an old-fashioned birdhouse to salute America and what it means to be free. Let's hang it up with dignity. Let's hang it up for you to see. Let's hang it up for liberty. Let's hang it up for the love of you and me. America's first home was of hand-hewn log, cinched to perfection with marshy bog. Pioneers for miles around had 2 smiles for a frown. Here was another bird for liberty, another bird of dignity, another bird to keep America free, another bird like you and me. Now some for just a practical joke will hang theirs on the old red oak, but let's carefully hang yours and mine on the limb of the old apple tree. Let's stand tall for eternity. Let's join in this homestead salute, for the bluebirds are all caroling. America needs new equality recruits. Rat-a-tat-tat, America, we love thee. Rat-a-tat-tat, America, we are the the birds of liberty. Rat-a-tat-tat, America. We are the birds of dignity. Rat-a-tat-tat, America. We are the birds of destiny. Rat-a-tat-tat, America. We are the birds of progress. Rat-a-tat-tat, America. We are the birds of happiness. Rat-a-tat-tat, America. Rat-a-tat-tat, America. It's so nice to be free. Yeah, it's so nice to be free. It's so nice to be free.
This is 88.7 WNHU, and it is indeed so nice to be free. Free to be the birds of happiness and living in our little birdhouses, as described in the song by Dick Kent called Rat-a-tat-tat America. Very appropriate here for the 4th of July edition of Mr. Tent's Wild Ride. Before that, we heard Phil Oakes singing of the power and the glory. True fact, Anita Bryant covered that song once, and she was allegedly quite confused by the lyrical content. She wasn't sure if it was a pro-America song or not. I think it is absolutely a pro-America song, warts and all. Before that, The Doors, L'America, which, as speculated earlier, may or may not be about America, but the word America is in the song title, therefore you got it, here on Mr. Tent's Patriotic Ride this evening, the eve of the 4th of July. We got another one coming up for you right now. Stefan John Kalinich, K-A-L-I-N-I-C-H. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'll just say Kalinich, because I pronounce the president's English around here. The song is called America, I Know You. It was recorded, I believe, in 1969. Was not released at the time. I think it might have come out a little bit later on an album of poetry by this guy. Most interesting fact about it is that Brian Wilson did the backing track at a time when Brian Wilson wasn't doing many backing tracks for anybody, but he would occasionally latch onto somebody who he really wanted to turn into a hit artist and would record some tracks for him. And unfortunately, this one never came out. But fortunately, we do have it, and I'm going to play it for you right here, right now on Mr. Tent's Wild Ride, which is, of course, found right here, right now. If I can get the technology to work. It doesn't seem to want to work. There we go. It's going to take a minute to load up, so I'll just say that this is indeed 88.7 WNHU.
America, I know you. I feel your open spirit. I roam in your open meadows. I taste the oranges from your orange tree. I smell the blossoms of your pear. America, I feel you. I feel your restless spirit as a part of myself. I see you in your snow-capped mountains that like a child's finger touch the sky. America, I know you. Far away from smog and cities full of grime. America, I know your open air and open fields. I fly into your arms. America, I see you in the grazing pastures of your cow, in the sweat of farmers, in the workhorse's eye. America, I touched you in your stony little creeks, on your Indian trails where I found bullets of your past. America, I found you in the caves that as a child I would explore. I felt you in Walt Whitman in the Walden of Thoreau, but most of all I felt you in my heart and mind. I came down your hills and traveled through your streets and drank your water and saw your sunsets and felt your rain upon my bare chest, the rain of America. And I thought that here a dream had come true, that I who came from humble birth could be a part of you and say with my raging, roaring spirit, I am an American, I am an American, I am an American. America, I know you. I have felt Montana winters and seen its highways filled with snow. I have seen the badlands of Dakota painted purples, oranges, blues, and yellows. I have seen the beauty of a Texas sky and thirsted on the desert sand. I have seen 1,000 cactus plants in Arizona and rocks 1,000,000 different shapes and forms, like two lovers embracing, like an ancient face or a mother carrying a child. I have seen the mighty Columbia River. I have heard the tales of how the mountains of Oregon have sprung up from volcanoes of the past. I have hitchhiked through every state and seen 1,000,000 different faces. I've read books in New York public libraries. I've cut the stone of quarries in Pennsylvania. America, I've baled your hay and milked your cows and shoveled ashes from your cellars. I have fallen asleep in your haylofts and dreamt 1,000,000 dreams. I've met your rich and poor and laughed with your bums and peasants. I've seen the cruelness of your children, beating other children. I've bathed in New York lakes and sailed on Lake Oneida. I've body surfed in the Pacific and carved my name in the sand. I fell in love in America and married. America, I know you. You are not perfect. You have had many senseless murders and cruel assassinations, and some of your students have destroyed property and rioted, and some of your policemen have been brutal, but with you there still is hope. America, you are the hope of the world. America, I love you. America, I know you. I hear you crying. Crying to those who live in cities, to those whose hearts are broken, to those whose souls are torn. Crying, come my children, see me. In my winters, in my summers, in my autumns, in my springs. Touch me, feel me, grasp me.
They said it's easy, nothing to it. And now the army's out to get you. 69 American terminal stashes. The air's so thick it's like a drowning in molasses. I'm sick and tired of paying these dues, and I'm finally getting hip to the American blues. I learned to say the Pledge of Allegiance before they beat me bloody down at the station. They haven't got a word out of me since I got a billion years probation. 69 American terminal stashes. The air's so thick it's like drowning in molasses. I'm sick and tired of paying these dues, and I'm sick to my guts of the American blues. Phony stars, oh no. Crummy cars, oh no. Cheap
1775.
Presenting Mr. George Washington from Fairfax.
Mr. President, I am a soldier and believe in being prepared. For that and other reasons, I will give my vote for the resolutions of the gentleman from Hanover. Rather than submit to the present condition of things, I will raise 1,000 men, subsist them at my own expense, and march myself at their head to the relief of Boston.
The gentleman from Hanover has the floor.
No man thinks more highly than I of the patriotism as well as abilities of the very worthy gentlemen who have just addressed this house. But different men often see the same subjects in different lights, and therefore I hope it will not be thought disrespectful to those gentlemen if, entertaining as I do, opinions of a character very opposite to theirs, I shall speak forth my sentiments freely and without reserve. This is no time for ceremony. The question before this house is one of awful moment to this country. For my own part, I consider it to be nothing less than a question of freedom or slavery. And in proportion to the magnitude of the subject ought to be the freedom of debate. It is only in this way that we can hope to arrive at the truth and fulfill the great responsibility we hold to God and our country. Should I keep back my opinions at such a time through fear of giving offense, I should consider myself guilty of treason to my country and an act of disloyalty against the majesty of heaven which I revere above all earthly kings. Mr. President, it is natural for man to indulge in the illusions of hope. We are apt to shut our eyes against the painful truth and listen to the song of the siren till she transforms us into snarling beasts with razor-sharp claws. Is this the part of wise men engaged in a great and arduous struggle for liberty? Are we disposed to be of the number of those who, having eyes, see not, and having ears, hear not, that which so nearly concerns their temporal salvation? For my own part, whatever anguish of spirit it may cost, I wish to know the whole truth, to know the worst, and provide for it. They tell us, sir, that we are weak, unable to cope with so formidable an adversary. Well, when shall we be stronger, huh? Shall it be the next week or the next year? Shall it be when we are totally disarmed and a British guard shall be stationed in every house? Shall we gather strength through inaction and irresolution? Shall we acquire the means of effectual resistance by lying on our backs and hugging the earth until our enemies shall have us bound hand and foot? Sir, we are not weak if we make a proper use of those means which a God of nature hath placed in our power. 3 millions of people armed in the holy cause of liberty, and in such a country as that which we possess, are invincible by any force, be it the musket, be it the panzer, be it the death robot, that our enemies can dispatch against us. Besides, sir, we have no elections, or were we base enough to desire it, the time is now too late to retire from the contest. There is no retreat, but in submission and slavery. Our chains are forged, their clanking can be heard on the plains of Boston. The war is inevitable, and let it come, sir. Oh, let it come. It is in vain, sir, to extenuate this matter. Gentlemen, gentlemen may cry, peace, 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 but there is no peace. The next gale that sweeps from the north shall bring to our ears the clash of resounding arms. Our brethren are already in the field. Why stand we here idle? What is it that gentlemen would have? What would they wish? Is life so dear, or peace so sweet, as to be purchased at the price of chains and slavery? Forbid it, Almighty God! I know not what course others may take, but as for me, give me liberty! or give me death!
Someone try to take it wrong. Your buddies in the CIA, specials in the students, think it's always safer to belong. You tell them that it's not the way they tell you go to church and pray, been doing it for so long. And that's the way it is today. Revolution doesn't pay, you'll never even hear this song.
And so we draw close to the end of the star-spangled edition of Mr. Tent's Patriotic Ride here on the evening of July 3rd. You just heard a guy named Malcolm Tent. Oddly enough, not me. There's another guy named Malcolm Tent. He's from New Jersey. He's a punk rock accordion player. He's been at it for a long time, and that was one of his songs called USA. Before that, we heard Sam McPheeters doing a dramatic and stirring reading of Patrick Henry's speech before the Colonial Congress in 1775. Before that, the Easygoings do an incomparable version of Born in the USA by old What's-His-Name from the 80s. Before that, the MC5 doing American Ruse. And before that, The Clash, representing all sides of the issue, their song, I'm So Bored with the USA. And I've got time enough for one or maybe two, we'll say one more song, call it a medley, before Damon comes up and gives you the show with no name. This is, of course, Jimi Hendrix doing the Star-Spangled Banner, segueing into Purple Haze. And this is a rare version from Randall's Island, New York City in 1970. Don't know if this has been commercially released yet, but it's out there. You can find it if you look hard enough, or you can just listen right now. Whew! Thanks for listening, everybody. I'm always glad to bring this alleged music to you, for you, and at you. I hope to be back in 166 hours' time. Until we meet again, this is Malcolm Tent saying so long from the Nutmeg State.
thank you very much for all that good purple haze and all the enjoyment and everything. Let's say